Okay guys, so I got all of my top pieces together. So what I'm doing, just starting to press these pieces out for my sweetheart top. I also have that fusible interfacing. So once you get all your pieces sewn, you press them out. And then I'm going to attach it to the interfacing. So I will say when I get ready to do that part, I have to take my time and make sure I'm putting it on the piece that I want. So you have your lining and you have your outer piece. So I always look for, when I'm getting ready to do it, I look at both pieces and I find the best looking piece, because everything is identical. So you have your lining, you have your interfacing. So everything is identical. So this piece I use for the inside of the lining, okay? And this piece I'm gonna use for the outer. So just taking my time and getting all of my pieces together. So that's why I'm learning now to take my time. And I want to attach this interfacing, I'm gonna show y'all what I'm talking about, to this piece. And I definitely want to take my time when I do it, because when I used to do it before, I would take this, like I got all these pieces sewn together, and I would take the interfacing being flat, and I would iron the interfacing on, and then what I noticed, it flattens down my sweetheart. It flattens it down. So I watch the African designers where they don't do theirs like that. They have the interfacing, they have the lining, and they will, I'll show you what I'm talking about. So got all these pieces that I'm ironing, and I'm gonna show y'all what I'm talking about. Let me press this really good, get all the stuff out, and I'll show y'all what I'm talking about. But they will put this stuff on, right? And they make the interfacing also curved. And that gives this a better structure. So I need to go get my pressing hem, because that's what getting these curves real good. Hold on, let me go get it. And I'm going to show y'all what I'm talking about. I'll be right back. Let me go get it. Watch out, buddy. Okay, so you see this? I made this one, and this one I purchased. So what this does, when you're sewing a princess, you see how it caves in? What this does is bring that seam out. So how I made that, I got some interfacing, I got some cotton, I took a bowl. Yes, I took a bowl, and I stuffed that bowl with a whole bunch of cotton. I rounded off. I took interface, and then I used a hot glue gun, and I created this, okay? All right, so what I did was pressed out those curves. Okay, so do y'all see this? This is the interfacing, okay? And what I did here on this interfacing, if y'all see, look, let me show y'all what I did. I sewn the boning, oh, it's backwards. I sewn the boning on to the interfacing, okay? So now what I got to do, and when I do this, I got to have this corrected. I got to have it done 100% on here right. So when I press it down, I don't want it to be messed up. I don't want it to be out of place. I need it to be perfect. So I have to take my time, and I need to pin this So what I'm going to do so that I can do it and do it correctly, I'm going to get off line and I'm going to pin all this, and I'll come back because we're going to iron this interfacing to this fabric, okay? But in order for me to get it done correctly, to line up every seam, I need to pin it correctly because I don't need nothing to be off. I don't need it to be crooked. I need every seam to line up. And I notice that when I'm talking or when I'm trying to do show and tell, I'm not the best at show and tell. So in order for me to have this stuff right, sometimes I have to get offline, and because this piece is going to be ironed, this fusible, but you got to line up every single seam and have it right, not crooked. I don't want it misaligned. I want every seam to line up perfect. So when you cut your lining, when you cut your interface, and when you cut it, everything should match up like a puzzle. None should be bigger, none should be smaller. Everything should match up like a puzzle. So let me put this together, guys, and line it up, and then the next thing I'll come and I'll iron this to this fabric. But I need to get everything lined up perfect. I'll be back. I am starting to attach the interfacing to the bias piece, and I'm taking my time and doing it at a slow motion because I'm trying to make sure that it does not pucker. So I'm trying to make sure that I'm taking my time and fusing it piece by piece, okay? And I will say I got it pinned, but you know, you're just taking your time to make sure that it's not shifting and moving, because if it shift and move, it's going to show up. So that's why I'm trying to make sure that it's not shifting and moving, okay? As I'm fusing it to this interfacing, okay? And also trying to maintain, to keep the curves. I have to iron the curves back in because I did have to flatten it to get it. So I will say that this whole process can be challenging when you doing a sweetheart. So that's why I'm challenging myself to do it better and better. And however many times I got to do it to perfect it, for me to be able to be like, okay, I finally got it. I'm going to continue to do that, because that ain't going to do nothing but make me better and make the most awesome sweetheart dress there is, okay? So that's the point of keep trying to perfect it, because if I want to be a wedding dress maker, I don't want to be a half-ass wedding dress maker. I want to be a very good wedding dress maker. So now what I did, I fused the top to this bias piece. So as you notice, I made it flat. I'm finna iron these curves back in, and then I'm gonna go in and top stitch all of the pieces back together. So when you iron on this fusible interfacing, it will mess with the curves of your sweetheart. So that's what I'm doing. I'm ironing them back in. I'm ironing them back. So this is called a tailor's hem. If you're wondering what it's called, a tailor's hem. I did make my own also. But what this is called is a tailor's breast hem. So it's made round like a breast. So what it does is it irons the creases back in there. Okay. So now I'm just reassuring that all of the interfacing is fused to this bias piece. And it's also going to make the structure of this piece really good. And after I have all the boning that I need and what I want, we will secure it with the lining piece. So far, this is how it is looking. So this is this piece right here is the ties that goes in the back of the corset. So I'll be making my own little ties. So this is this piece. So yeah, just taking our time and getting all the pieces to the puzzle together. So you can either buy the ties, and we're going to do a lace up back because I noticed everybody don't have an eyelet maker. So I feel like if we do the lace up back, we can utilize the fabric that we have without have to have an eyelet machine like what I have. I know everybody don't have that. So what I did is just pressed out. This is the lace that's going to tie up the back. I got to iron these a lot more better. So I got to go top stitch this. I have to top stitch it. So that's what that tailor's hem is for. And when you ironing this, make sure you pin it and you iron it right where it's not shifting all around, okay? Make sure that that's something that's on point, okay? Definitely want to make sure. So I just make this as long as I think that I need it to be. And this is the tie that's going to go in the back of the dress. And I do get my zippers off of Amazon. So this is going to lace up in the back of the dress. I use the same fabric to make that. Just roll it over and also when y'all see me take this and tie this sweetheart back on the mannequin with the boobs, it also put that curve back in it. So if you wind up losing a curve due to you pressing it out, once you tie it onto your mannequin, you can press it that way too. That's what I'm doing, making sure everything is fused stiffly. Okay. All right, then I'll go top stitch that. And these right here, these are the little ties. So if you see, I fold them like this. See? So what I'm going to do now is just each one of these. We're just making these little loops, so when I sew them onto the dress, it'll be really easy because it's already going to be in that little bend. So yeah, that's what I'm doing, just putting them in these little, and I'll show y'all. So these goes in the back of the dress. Like after I do 4, and you could do how many you want. So as you see, these gonna go in the back of the dress. So they go like that, and then you just pull the little tie through. So when I lace it up in the back of the dress, I know y'all can't really see that, but that's what these things are. I lace them up in the back of the dress when I get all that done. So Just take your time when you do your dress and do it in steps, and everything will be okay. Yeah, notice if I do everything in the steps, it'll be just fine. So that's it. So I hope you guys are having a awesome day, and everything is good. Woo, that's hot. So if I didn't say, I said in a couple videos, this is a gravel steam iron that is great for special occasion, wedding dresses, hats, or whatever you decide you want to make. It's perfect for that. So that's what this is. And I got this off of Amazon, and this iron was $120. And it was with, well, maybe 180, because I got the filter, I got the horseshoe, I got the glove, I got kind of all the accessories that are kind of come with that. So, and we'll start putting the base of the dress together after we get all of this together. So I'm gonna finish putting this bias piece together, and I'll be back. Toodles. Okay, so now that I've ironed everything, if you see, I have the interfacing sewn on to the base piece. So we have the lining and the base piece attached. So now what I'm about to do is sew this down together. So we're going to sandwich this in. We're going to sew this down together where we're attaching the lining to the base piece and everything, and we'll be back. Okay. Okay, so after you sew down this whole piece around here, what a lot of people will do, they would take this and they will cut slits in it. Make sure. So what a lot of people would do, they would take this fabric and they would do this. They would cut slits in it to make it roll over. But a lot of times when I be cutting slits, sometimes I cut too close and I've actually cut into the fabric. So I just like to come as close, and I like to cut away any excess additional fabric, because you'll get a better rollover and it'll roll down neater when you cut off the excess. Okay, you could do the slit if you're good at that. I've made a couple mistakes, so I don't try that all the time because I've cut into the fabric and I have to go in there and do some doctoring up. So I like to do mine this way, cut off any excess when I do the rollover. So I'm gonna get rid of this, and then we're gonna roll over. I'm gonna let you see, and then we're gonna close this bias piece off. Okay, so let me finish this and I'll come back. So as you can see, this is what it looked like when we sandwich those two pieces together and put it in there. So now what I have to do is I have to go back to the ironing board again, and I need to press down all of these seams. I need to take the scissors, I need to push out the corners, get all that stuff done. I iron it out, and yeah, so that's what I need to do. So now what I'm doing is just evening everything up. So I'm gonna go back to the ironing board, and what I'm going to do is iron all of these seams in place to make it all neatly before I do a top stitch. So we're going to go back to the pressing board and press all of this in order, and then we'll come back. So I hope that this is helping you guys when you want to make these sweetheart dresses and stuff. And yeah. So I'm learning, taking my time, just kind of showing y'all the steps, kind of what it takes. So yeah, so that's what I'm doing. I'm kind of lining everything up. I'm going to go press it, and then we will do a top stitch. So I'm going to go back to the sewing machine, back to the ironing board, and I'm going to press all this out. All right, be back. Okay, so now as you see, I didn't kind of sandwiched it together, and I have top stitched down this piece at the bottom. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut off any of the excess down at the bottom, down here, because this will be connected to the bottom of the dress. So I'm going to pretty much remove the bottom piece down there, cut all that off, cut off this excess, and then what I'm going to do, I am going to I don't want to, I hope ain't no boning down this far, because I want to use the boning to cut with my scissors. Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the loops on, show y'all how I create the loops, and all of this will be sandwiched in the bottom of the dress. So any of this just raw excess that's just here, I just clean it up a little bit, and then I also take my torch, because you know a lot of this fabric frays, so a lot of times just something I like to do. You could take another piece of fabric if you have enough left. Where's my torch? I think it's in the room. Hold on, I'll be right back. You could take another piece of fabric if you have enough, and you can sandwich this bottom together. So what I do, I just take this with all the raw edges, and I just kind of, because this fabric is known to fray, so I just kind of do that, kind of clean up any of that fraying fabric, because it just drives me crazy sometime when this fabric frays. Know what you're burning. If you got a fabric that is flammable, don't do this step. This is just what I like to do. You don't have to do this at all. This is just something I do. You don't have to do that. So if you're not sure what you're burning, I would suggest don't do that. So I'm going to show y'all what I did here. So y'all see these little loops? And as you could see, where's that rope I just brought in here? Okay, so this is going to be how I will lace the back of this sweetheart top. We'll take the lace through here, and you see, this is how we would do it. Okay, so let me show y'all how I put those on. So what I do, I made 4 of them, and you make them as wide as you want. So you remember the little 4 little loop-de-lops I made? These. And you'll get that fraying fabric. Just burn it off. Okay. So what I do, I look at the right sides of the fabric, and I put it. And this is how you're going to have the tassels to be able to take the ties through the back without doing the eyelets that I normally do. So I normally would do the eyelets. You want it to be wider, then you do more. So I'm putting it right sides together. So meaning I'm putting it facing the fabric. So then when I sew it down, it can maneuver the opposite way. So this is what's going to hold this corset sweetheart together. Okay. So if you do this method, you do not have to have the eyelet that I have. You can make the, see this dress has the eyelets in the back. This is using the same fabric to attach the hooks in the back. So either or, whichever way you're comfortable and whichever way you like it, you do it that way. So this is how that I do these. So I'm going to show you. See that? Okay. So when you're done, it will be like this. So if you want the loops to be longer, meaning longer than this, then you make it longer than this. I don't want mine to be too longer than that, so I kind of do it like that. So okay, I'm attach this together. Next time y'all see it, the corset piece is going to be on this, and then we'll start attaching the skirt. Alrighty. As you can see, this is the corset that we was working on, and this is how we attach the eyelets in the back, where we don't have to use the corset, the eyelets loops in the back like I use. So that is the bias piece. It's on here. Still a couple more little things need to be done. So now we're going to move on to the skirt. So this is going to be like that one skirt that we made with the panels, because what I realized is that, hey, those dresses are really trending. They're trending really, really, really well. So this, I got to fold under. I will cut some more of this bottom off or fold down, because it's a little longer from my seam allowance, so it's a little pucker because I got the fabric bigger than what it is. So now what we're going to do is, y'all remember how when I do all of the panels and I make those different panels, so here I have of these panels. I was able to get 8 of these, so I'm waiting on more fabric. So remember how when I do all these panels and sew all this together, so we're about to do that. I'm about to put so many of these panels together. So when you sew these panels, you sew them right sides together with your seam allowance. So that's what we're starting to do. I'm starting to sew these right sides together. So it's going to take a minute. I don't have to have y'all here waiting while I get this done. So I'm going to sew so many of these panels together, and after I get enough to secure from waistline to waistline, I'll come back and let y'all see. I hope y'all are having an awesome Monday. I am having a really awesome Monday. And I appreciate you guys being here with me, watching me grow along my journey, because this is history in the making. This is where I'm at now, and I'll see myself in 5 years. Mark it on your calendar. Making very beautiful, elite wedding dresses, ballroom gowns, special occasion, formal. So that's what I'm laying the foundation for. So I am a work in progress. So I'll see you guys in a little bit. All right, toodles. Okay, so if you can see, as I got so many of these done, I'm just going to just kind of show you guys the bottom of the skirt and kind of the idea of what I'm going to be going with. So it is going to be a pleated skirt, kind of like the other one. So you just want to start to assemble the parts, and this one is going to have a split in it when I figure that out. So just wanted to kind of show y'all, I'm getting so many of the panels together. When you get so many together, I'm just pinning it on here to kind of give y'all a idea of what's going on. And all of these will be featured, all of my special occasion, formal, bridal, rehearsal, you know, birthday. So all of this stuff is going into my special category for that. And I love this windy burgundy red. Okay. So Just starting to get all the panels together. And I just want to give y'all a test and just see, let y'all see how many. And then I'm going to load this video, because this video is going to be extremely long with all of the different clips. But I got permission from you beautiful people to, hey, make the videos longer. It's okay. Your videos are not long enough. And I'm trying to be as detailed as I can be. And again, I do feel that I need more experience to be teaching. So remember, all this, like this is pen, and this bias piece still need to be modified a little bit more. It's too long at the bottom, so it's kind of rolled over. So I still have all of these other panels that needs to be sewn. That's going to give this skirt the volume that it needs. And this one is going to have a nice deep split. It's going to have some 3D effects, some other stuff going on. So this is kind of what's going on behind the scenes. So we're going to end it on here. And I'm going to let you guys go for today. And we'll come back tomorrow or another day when I get more of the items in. I'm still waiting on some items. So I hope that you're enjoying my special occasion dress. So yeah, nothing is in the back. Remember I said when I get so far, we're just starting to get this together. So okay guys, have an awesome Monday. And thanks for being here with me. You're greatly appreciated. Toodles.